Martha and Mary, two different women, two different ways of approaching Jesus. How would you act if Jesus came over to your house? Would you be focused on cleaning and cooking and setting everything up just right? Would you simply sit at Jesus' feet and listen? Martha and Mary show us an active way of life and a contemplative way of life. We need a balance of both. Some give of themselves by doing, preparing everything for the evening, focused on the details of getting ready. But I wonder if Martha got a little too caught up in the details and forgot that Jesus was right there in her house. Was she too focused on the food and not on the guest? When you get a chance, take a look at the picture on the front of our bulletin this week. The focus of the picture is all the food that's getting ready for the banquet. And if you look off in the background through the doorway, there's this little figure back in there of a man with a couple people around him listening to him. But it's way off in the background. I wonder if that was where Martha's mind was, focused so much on the pantry and forgetting what was going on right in the next room where Jesus was gathering and spending time with them. Where is our mind when Jesus offers to spend time with us? Sometimes we get caught up in activities and forget the most important part of life. That's not to say that her sister Mary gets to just sit with Jesus and ignore all the work, because even in the contemplative life, you still have to eat. But there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a sense of priorities. We need to be able to keep Jesus clearly in the center while we also engage in the activities of life. Look at how Abraham actively engaged in hosting strangers. He didn't know who these people were, but he knew that they were walking through the desert in the heat of the day. And he knew that they could use a rest under the shade and some water, and, well, why not stop for a meal? Abraham opens his heart to see their needs because he sees in them the image and likeness of God. God has already hosted us. He's given us so much in this life. How do we give back? When we see those he loves as his sons and daughters and we provide for their needs, this can be a gift that we give to God. That sense of hospitality can be an opening up of self to recognize Jesus in our guest. Whenever we see Jesus in the stranger, in the hungry, in the poor, we have an opportunity like Abraham, like Martha and Mary, to give of ourselves. Part of that is in helping to provide food or shelter or whatever is the immediate need. And part of that is in giving our time to sit at the feet of Jesus and listen, to spend time with someone who's feeling alone, to make a priority of being with someone who's never been anyone's priority before, to contemplate the face of Jesus in the image and likeness of God that he's placed before us in this stranger. It takes a little bit of Martha in us to make sure all the physical needs are being met. It takes a little bit of Mary to remember why we're doing all this work. Without the reflection, the contemplation, we get burned out and start complaining to Jesus, "Do you not care? Look at all this work I'm doing." How would you act if Jesus came over to your house? Would you try to make the pantry the center of the picture? Would you venture through that doorway to be with your guest? You know he wants to be with you. He's coming to be with you at the table of this altar. He wants you to know his presence in your life. He wants to be with you at this Eucharist today. Welcome this special guest and take time to let him rest in you.